Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Cleveland, everybody, where today this reshuffled Carolina defense gets its first test after letting 2 assistants go earlier this week. Again, head coach Ron Rivera calling the defensive plays instead of defensive coordinator Eric Washington. But you can expect these two to be joined at the hip. Washington's still in charge of the pass rush and run defense, plus he's got to help Rivera with things like clock management and challenge flags. Now, they have worked together for 7 years, so Rivera tells me he hopes this transition will be smooth and seamless. Dick Rivera's been thinking about this change for a little while now, so he's hoping that by joining forces and being more involved with Washington, they can get this defense back to its glory days and salvage the season.
All right, Jim, but it comes at a tough time with this team having lost 4 in a row, and of course Ron Rivera's teams have won at the end of the year. He's known for that. Back in 2014, they won their last 4, ended up winning the division. The Browns won the toss, they defer, and so the Panthers get the ball first. And this kick is returnable. Kenyon Barner from the 4-yard line. And Barner, there's a missed tackle, and he gets good yardage and a good kick as Greg Joseph, the kickoff man, knocked him out of bounds. So Cam Newton coming on, and of course he's 1 yard away. Guys, I think he's going to make it to become the second quarterback in NFL history for 3,000 plus for the first 8 years, but coming off a 4-interception game against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, always difficult anytime, you force the ball. He has that shoulder injury that he's dealing with, Chris, and that's been an issue for him from a treatment standpoint and a rep standpoint during the course of practice.
Starting from the 35, and in motion, you see Curtis Samuel out to the right, handoff to Christian McCaffrey. And of course, we're going to be mentioning his name a lot today. Panthers offense, that hasn't been the problem for Carolina. It's been their defense. Offense has been pretty good.
Offense has been great. It starts with Cam Newton. McCaffrey, one of the rare skill guys you can see, can run between the tackles and also out of the backfield. Dick, we believe he's going to be the next thousand guy. Hadn't happened in the NFL since 1999, Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, only 2 other guys who have been able to do it. Roger Craig from the 49ers, 2nd down and 5. Boy, he's on the field the whole game on 2nd and 5. And here's the pass downfield, and it's going to be caught at the 35-yard line by Samuel, who went in motion on that first play. So Curtis Samuel in a big 25-yard play.
Well, he's coming out of the slot on this side right here. They got a 3-receiver stacked set. He just runs the deep over right there. Look at him fight for the ball right there. That's interference by T.J. Carey, but he concentrates on the ball, brings it in there. Nice reception by Samuel.
Career best 6 catches last week in the losing effort against the Bucs, and a first down on the Browns 35. Hand off to McCaffrey, and he's going to be tackled from behind after a 2-yard gain by Myles Garrett. And taking a look at the Browns defense, 28th against the run. What's kept them in business has been the fact of the takeaways, 2nd in the league in that department.
And Myles Garrett's one of the reasons. Him off the edge. You want to talk about a guy that reads the snap count. He's got this innate ability to jump the snap count, get pressure, and also Terrence Mitchell, starting cornerback, is back after 8 weeks on the IR.
T.J. Carey, the other corner, Philip Gaines out of action today, and there's the pressure. And on the screen pass, again, it's McCaffrey, and McCaffrey will be shy of the first down by about 4 yards as Jamie Collins, the strong side backer, pushed him out of bounds after a pickup of 4.
You can see if Cam Newton, once they try to edge into the red zone here, see if they can try to generate big plays. They know they're going to get a lot of man coverage by the Browns. Believe they can take advantage of it with their wide receiver matchups.
It'll be 3rd down and 4. Pressure on Newton, and the pass is caught right at the line, and they may have the first down. Ian Thomas, who now has to handle the receiving role at tight end with Greg Olsen out of action for the rest of the year, and it is a first down after the gain of 4. Olsen, of course, 2nd season ending with a foot injury. They'll miss him.
The coaching staff, they really do like him. He's got to be more of a threat down the field like Olsen. It's hard to replace a guy who's been so dependable as Olsen, not only as a receiver, but at the end of the line blocker.
First down. Panthers on the 25. And play is whistled dead, and there's a false start call against Carolina.
False start, number 12, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's on the receiver, DJ Moore. Walt Anderson, the referee.
You always hate it when you're in that snap count. You're looking at blitz, and Cam Newton has so much responsibility at line of scrimmage to get them in. He moves Christian McCaffrey over. It's taking some time. You're a wide receiver, Chris. You want to go out there and catch a football, man. You got a little amped up.
Yeah, I'm jumping on Cam's voice. That second help got DJ Moore to get out of there.
So it's now 1st and 15. Back to the 30, and the pitch to McCaffrey. Got a blocker in front, but he couldn't get far in front, and McCaffrey gets more out of it than he figured, and Jamie Collins missed the tackle, and no gain on the play.
Well, when you come down here and you're going to crack on this, you've got to get into the line of scrimmage so your tackle can get cleared. You'll see it. He gets bumped, and he gets pushed into McCaffrey right there, and you cannot get up the football field. It totally disrupts the play.
The reason why you run a motion like that is so you take something off Myles Garrett as a rusher. If you do that enough early in the game, it might slow him down and give Cam a little extra time.
2nd and 15 now, back on the 30. Press coverage, but with the secondary, and Cam Newton gets hit, but completes the pass to McCaffrey, hit immediately by Collins, and gets 6.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where you look at Christian McCaffrey out there in the flat. Jamie Collins on the tackle right there. That's what you want to be able to do. You want to get the ball in 22's hands as often as possible.
The reason why you crack on a guy like Myles Garrett, you see right here, you get the inside rush. They chip him last play. This time he goes inside. That's what that defense is about, negative plays for the Browns.
3rd down and 9. Newton has time, goes underneath to McCaffrey, racing for first down yardage. He has it inside the 5-yard line and knocked out of bounds. So Joe Schobert missed a tackle for the Browns. They missed a few already, and the Panthers get 20. It'll be 1st and goal.
If the Panthers have it their way, what they're going to do is play a little basketball, a little one-on-one. Christian McCaffrey either coming out to the outside out of the tackle or coming inside release where he can face up a linebacker. There's no linebacker in the NFL that can guard him one-on-one.
Pretty impressive first drive by Carolina. McCaffrey, of course, the centerpiece. Now 83 catches, leading the running backs. 1st and goal at the 4. Cam Newton to the corner, dropped. Unable to make the play is DJ Moore. Not sure whether it was dropped or whether he could not get it. And so it is the first incompletion thrown by Cam Newton, and it will bring up 2nd and goal.
DJ Moore's had a very good rookie season. He's going to try to run a pivot route where he's got one-on-one on the outside. He's going to go inside, jab him in. You can see as a young receiver, Carey's able to get 2 hands around him, able to slow him up, so he wasn't able to come in and out of that break. Cam couldn't anticipate the throw. That's why they were a little off on that.
Highest goal-to-go offense in the league of the Panthers. They face 2nd and goal. And running around is DJ Moore out there, and an easy handoff touchdown for Christian McCaffrey. So Christian McCaffrey with his 12th touchdown of the year, both as a runner and as a receiver, goes over from 4 yards out. An impressive first drive by the Panthers, who need this game badly.
Watch this, Turner coming around here on the pull, and this is just old power football. Blocked down, great adjustment by the left guard. Van Roten, and McCaffrey follows the blocker into the end zone. Beautifully executed by the Panthers.
And the new kicker is Chandler Catanzaro, with Graham Gano inactive with a knee injury. Catanzaro, last kick for Tampa Bay, and this kick is good. And the Panthers on the opening drive take a 7-0 lead. Who else but McCaffrey as a receiver and a runner leading the way for the Panthers.
Today's game is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And Christian McCaffrey, who figured in 7 of the 10 plays in the scoring drive, putting the Panthers in front. 11 touchdowns in the last 7 games, and that's the most in the league since week 8. What a weapon he's become, along with Cam Newton. for this Carolina Panther team looking to go 7-6.
Christian McCaffrey is one of the only people I've ever talked to that said, listen, this was my goal. I want to be part of that 1,000 club.
No. People might every once in a while mention, you know, soft. So people, if I do that, I'm going to get criticized if I don't make it. What a goal.
And the Browns will start out at the 25-yard line, and Baker Mayfield, who rebounded from a very tough first half in Houston last week through 3 interceptions, but look what he's done so far, and there's no question that he has blossomed in the 3 weeks since the coaching change was made. Greg Williams taking over for Hugh Jackson here.
He has whatever it is, and I mean, I wish I could bottle it and sell it because I'd be a multi-gazillionaire, but whatever it is, he has it. The unquestioned leader of this football team.
Browns start out with 3 tight ends. Play action on first down for Baker Mayfield, and he's going to go deep, and he's got a receiver downfield, and he's got it. Rashad Perriman, and Perriman is tackled at the 9. Don't waste any time. Baker Mayfield strikes back, and a big gain downfield of 66 yards.
When the Baltimore Ravens, when they drafted Rashad Perriman, this is what they thought. Freddie Kitchens told us, a lot of these coaches don't always tell us the truth. Hey, see, we're taking a shot on them down the field. Stink and I looked at each other and said, we don't know if coach is telling the truth. Freddie Kitchens told us, for them to be successful in this game, the wide receivers got to make big plays. They're looking for 5 plays of over 20 yards.
And it'll be first and goal, and this crowd is buzzed. They're in it, and Nick Chubb, who has been a force as the running back of the team, tackled by Bradbury on first down. It'll be second down and goal, so the Browns have struggled on the opening drive, but right now they're in prime position. It'll be second and goal after the pickup of 3. The ball now at the 7.
You see that play by Chubb right there? That was one in college where he did try to get to the edge. He's learning the NFL. You know, at some point, stick my foot in the ground, get myself positive yardage, and fall forward for 2 or 3. Nice run by Chubb right there.
And he's got a shot at 1,000 yards this year. Uses a blocker, and Mayfield throws it over the end zone or through the goalposts. And a penalty flag down in our first since the Browns have taken over possession.
Might be a neutral zone infraction. Carolina to line up.
Offside, number 97. Defense, half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Right on the money, CC. Mario Addison. So, penalty against the Panthers. Helping the Browns here, or trying to score in their opening possession and tie the game.
I tell you, they have not given up a sack in the last 3 games, and you can see him right here. He's lined up offsides, crossing that ball, but they haven't given up a sack in their last 3 games. Did you see the time that Baker Mayfield had right there? He held that ball all day long.
Duke Johnson, who came back to practice Friday, was out all week with personal reasons back in there, and he is a threat. Second down and goal. And the handoff is to the receiver, Jarvis Landry, who scores. We're seeing a lot of that in the league now. And the Browns strike fast. Jarvis Landry on a 3-yard jet sweep.
Now, you're going to get everybody. You're going to get this. You're going to get this over here from a blocking standpoint. Look at Batonio out there on little guys. You love it when a big guy gets on a little guy, CC.
People say they're not running the ball in the NFL anymore, but Dick, as you mentioned, they're giving the ball a lot to wide receivers. I haven't seen this much running by wide receivers in the league in the last 20 years.
And Greg Joseph makes the extra point to tie the game, and you're so right. Tell you what, a lot of the Panthers wide receivers had a lot of yards. I think over 400 if you add them up. Tie score at 7.
Eli, I got this. It's so easy. Just tap to pay.
Today's game is sponsored by Burger King. Try the new $6 King Box, only at Burger King.
So we're just about halfway through this first quarter, tied at 7-7. And there is the scoring drive set up by the 66-yard pass to Perriman, but for Landry, his first touchdown as a runner. Would you have liked that role with the Vikings your day?
Well, that's not necessarily my skill set. I'm a little taller, necessarily don't have the quickness as him. I have my limitations as an offensive player. No, I don't like the reverses. Send me down the field, red zone, put me in that end zone. That's where I like to make my money.
And have Mr. Schlereth block for you. Barner will down it there for the touchback. Well, the Panthers held serve with the Saints in the NFC South over the first 8 games of the year. 6-2, scoring almost 30 points a game. It's been a different story over the last 4 weeks. Losses against the Steelers, Lions, Seahawks, and Buccaneers. They still have a tough road ahead. 3 games in the division, including 2 with the Saints. And what started it all for the Panthers' downfall was a 52-21 loss at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, an absolute shellacking right there. And one of the things, sometimes it's hard to bounce back. People will see where your weaknesses are and how to attack you. They've shown a game plan, a blueprint, and people have attacked. But it really comes down to -7 in that 4-game losing streak. Excuse me.
Keep going to McCaffrey. This time Chris Smith, former Bengal, is in there and sets him back for a loss of 2.
And speaking with Greg Williams, this is what this defense has got to do. They can't overpower an offensive team, but they got to make a lot of negative plays behind the line of scrimmage on 1st and 2nd down, set this defense up so potentially they can blitz on 3rd. But watch the penetration, especially on 1st down.
I'll tell you, the Panther offensive line has undergone a lot of changes.
They certainly have, and that has been the weakness of this Panthers team here down the stretch.
2nd down and 12. And the pass is going to be caught by DJ Moore. They have a lot of promise for him. He's just about a yard short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
I really like his development as a wide receiver. Great expectations as a 1st-round pick. He was supposed to be the next Steve Smith for this organization. A better wide receiver is a young receiver than Steve Smith. Really has great hands, as you can see right here with the concentration. You're not going to see a tougher catch than that one right there.
That was going to the ground, that ball. 3rd down and 1. And it's going to be McCaffrey. No, it's going to be Cam Newton, and he's going to get the 1st down. He's big enough to get it, as we know, and a pickup of nearly 3 and a 1st down for Carolina.
You know, talking to Norv Turner as we did, amazing when you think about this guy right here and the responsibilities that he has. Every play, it's not just a handoff. He's got to read the defensive end. Then he's got to read the corner coming off the edge. Now he's got to make a play with his feet. Every play, he's got responsibilities that no other quarterback in this league have from a mental perspective.
Got away from a Browns tackler. Cleveland has missed a few tackles so far in the early going. Pass is caught up the middle by Jarius Wright, and Wright gets 6 yards on the play.
I love what Norv Turner's doing right now. He's trying to fill out this defense. The one thing he tried to emphasize to us is Cam's got to be very, very patient. They might give us a lot of zone, even though Greg Williams likes to blitz. So patience is one of the keys for this offense to be effective.
McCaffrey lines up as a receiver, and Cameron Artis-Payne is the running back. Now McCaffrey goes back behind Cam Newton on 2nd down and 4. They give it to Artis-Payne, and he'll have it up for a 1st down, barely, close to midfield for the Panthers.
They give you so much to look at in the running game. You see Christian McCaffrey motion back from outside into the backfield. Then you see him leaving from left to right. You see the underneath handoff with pullers. I mean, it's complete eye candy in the run game, which makes you play soft on your heels.
Right, and it's also those defenders. What they're doing is trying to affect their eyes so they can pause for just a second to be able to slip someone in behind them.
1st down and 10. And time this time for Newton. And this pass is going to be incomplete, intended for Curtis Samuel. Larry Ogunjobi, defensive tackle for the Browns, struggling. Jen Hale has more. Jen.
Yeah, Dick, he's standing on the sideline. They just fitted that left arm with a big brace. You might can see it there, stretching from his bicep down to his forearm. His bicep has been bothering him for several weeks now. He actually missed practice on Wednesday, did practice Thursday and Friday, but fighting through the pain, and clearly it's going to persist and be an issue this game.
Yeah, he's second to Myles Garrett, Jen, in sacks. Breakout second season for him. Meanwhile, it'll be second down and 10 for the Panthers, and McCaffrey going nowhere. Will lose a couple of yards as the Browns stuff the play up the middle. Loss of 1 will bring up third down. Collins was the key man there.
Well, this is what happens when you have Christian McCaffrey. You know, you start running games on the inside, pinch Myles Garrett down, loop the linebacker around.
Third and 11, and here's McCaffrey trying to get free and will come up short. Almost made it. Collins, who's been in a million plays so far, flag has been thrown, and it'll be about a couple of yards shy of the first down pending the call.
Little jailbreak screen. Potentially you either have a tight end or a offensive lineman blocking one of the defensive backs in the backfield.
That's going to be Ian Thomas with a block in the back right there.
Illegal block in the back, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still third down.
So the tight end Thomas guilty of the foul. McCaffrey took a shot here, didn't he, guys?
Yeah, McCaffrey catches out here, like you said, the sprint. There you see right there the shot in the back. McCaffrey just so elusive right there. You don't usually get good shots on him, but Jamie Collins right here, boom, right to the jaw.
And coming out of college, people like myself and other people that look at the draft wonder, how big is he? Is he going to be able to avoid contact? In a little over a season and a half, he's proven myself and other people to be wrong. He's far more durable. He's got a bigger body, and you don't see many shots where guys square him up.
Like, he's like water. Like, he's like trying to hit water, you know? I mean, he's just like gelatinous. He's moving around. It's hard to get a shot on him.
Third down and 21. Playing into the Browns' hands, and the pass thrown underneath, and it's going to be caught by Ian Thomas, but way short of the first down. Fourth down punting as we check in with Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thanks, 6. So the Packers trailing 7-0 against the Falcons when Aaron Rodgers connects with Devontae Adams for the 7-yard score. Adams leading 22nd receiving touchdowns since 2017, all tied up at 7.
All right, thank you, Carissa. Fourth down, and Michael Pilardi, who spent time with the Browns, and that's Jabril Peppers back deep. Pilardi 2 years ago was on the roster.
I coached him in high school. Well, we had a special teams coach, but he went to St. Thomas Aquinas, a great high school that produces all the NFL players in Fort Lauderdale.
You taught him to kick left-handed, and he's done a good job with that. Couple of great rookies coming up for the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb, second-round pick from Georgia, the rookie from Oklahoma, all coming up.
IBM. Let's put smart to work. And by KFC. It's finger-licking good.
One of the bright spots, not only Baker Mayfield, but who's talking to him, who's calling the plays. Freddie Kitchen, offensive coordinator, comes from the Bruce Arian School of Thought, teaching, coaching tree. Man, he looks like a dog-pound coach.
Dog
Former Alabama quarterback.
He's right near the dog pound,
looks
too.
the part.
First and 10 from the 14, and here is Chubb. And Chubb crosses the 15, stopped by Luke Kuechly. Take a look at the Browns' offense. Now, keep in mind, in the 3 games prior to last week at Houston, they averaged 28 points a game. That's pretty good.
Yes, the productivity has been there. Jarvis Landry is the key to the wide receiving core. He's kind of mentoring Antonio Callaway, kind of a troubled wide receiver, 4th-round pick. They took a chance on him after being dismissed from the University of Florida. Big plays are the theme for today's game plan.
Second down and 7, and it's going to be a play action read and a pass to Jarvis Landry for the first down. Boy, I tell you, Baker Mayfield, as a flag is down. Penalty marker thrown. 18-yard play. We'll see what the call is.
I think it's going to be
an eligible player downfield prior to the pass, number 75, offense.
Joe Batonio, the left
5-yard
guard.
penalty.
So that nullifies
down.
an 18-yard play. Tough one for the Browns here.
Yeah, anytime you get into play action and that ball takes a little bit longer, Baker Mayfield, you're expecting it out. So you want to go up there and attack the line of scrimmage. And here he is right here. Now watch him. He's going to get up here wanting to attack the line of scrimmage because the play takes a little bit longer than he anticipates. Look, he's going to go get a linebacker.
That reminds me of you, Stink, trying to sneak a donut. You're too big to be sneaking. Big guy like that, the referees couldn't see that.
Yeah, they can see you down there.
Not Stink. Not Stink. Quick one goes out to Rashad Higgins, and he's brought down in a hurry at the 16. Fumble, ball loose. And the Carolina Panthers get it. Looks like Adams, Mike Adams, who played for the Browns for 5 years, gets the loose ball.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
They'll review it, of course.
Touchdown, Carolina.
Luke Kuechly tackled Higgins.
Man, look at Luke Kuechly. You want to talk about read and recognition and getting down just getting down the line of scrimmage. He sees that pass coming. He sees it's going to be a quick bubble screen, and he just takes off, gets the receiver, knocks the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, Higgins makes a mistake. He's going to his left. You know you got to keep the ball outside, keep it away from those inside defenders. He has the ball in his inside arm. Luke Kuechly talked about he's been playing well, but he's trying to create turnovers to try to help out this offense. Field position to try to give them easy scores.
And that's one of the problems the Panthers have had lately, is that not creating turnovers. They've been ineffective on third down. So maybe the tide is turning back for the Carolina Panthers, who were 6-2 at one point. They have a 1st and 10 on the 17 of the Browns. And here's McCaffrey up the middle. And McCaffrey getting to the 11. Joe Schobert, middle linebacker, making the stop on McCaffrey, who's been active with 3 catches already and 7 rushing plays.
North Turner and Scott Turner, Scott, his son, the quarterback coach, have done a brilliant job as far as the first 15 plays. They've run so many different formations. You can see this Cleveland defense somewhat confused.
Scott.
Leo Fair.
And he really relates to Baker Mayfield. And there is Cam Newton, flush from the pocket, and he's going to have to take it himself. Gets close to the 1st down. Let's see if he edged into it. Collins pushed him out of bounds. Let's see if he got enough. And it appears to be a 1st down.
That's an improvement just from last week alone. He talked about, hey, I'm playing the best football in my life. And he said, man, I got pie on my face last week.
Yes.
Because of the 4 picks. There's one. Don't force it. Go get what you can with your feet. Go make a play. Nice effort.
He missed the 1st down, so it's 3rd and short. And here's Cam Newton, and his toss is going to be, let's see if he got in the end zone or knee down to Ian Thomas, and he's down at the 1-yard line. So Thomas couldn't edge his way and get the ball over the plane, and it'll be 4th down.
Really
Ball at the 1. No, he has the 1st down as a result of that, and so it'll be 1st and goal at the 1 when we start the 2nd quarter. We've completed 1 here in Cleveland, with the Panthers and the Browns all even at 7 apiece. And welcome back to Cleveland. Dick Stockton along with Mark Schlereth and Chris Carter. Glad to have Chris in our booth for this game today, and it's 7-7 as we start the 2nd quarter. Jen Hale down on the sidelines. It'll be a 1st and goal at the 1 for the Panthers, looking to capitalize on the turnover, fumble recovery. And the first back through is Alex Armah, and he's not going to get there. It'll be 2nd and goal, stop at the line of scrimmage.
See, every now and again, you got to give one of the fat guys, you know, the fullback, you got to give him a little bit of taste, like, hey, I want to get everybody involved. North Turner's done a great job over the years, but now let's get away from our fullback and get back to run CMC, because
every once in a while you got to give him the ball because it helps him blocking.
Yeah.
Marshall Newhouse is an extra offensive lineman for the Panthers, and Larry Ogunjobi, who Jen Hale talked about with his problem with the bicep, is in the lineup as well. Second down and goal. And we're going to have a timeout called by the Panthers.
Charge timeout, Carolina, 30-second timeout.
Well, while we have a moment, I want to remind you to get the conversation of sports started with our partner today, Chris Carter, Nick Wright, and Jenna Wolf. First things first, weekday mornings at 6:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Great show, you guys.
I'm very fortunate. I'm able to work with two of my good friends, Jenna Wolf there, Nick Wright. Both of them do a tremendous job. Just like you, Dick, you and I have been friends over 30 years. Nick, I mean...
Look at you. You're the man of the people right there.
Oh, well, I'm trying.
And look at you signing autographs down there before the game. That's why the fans showed up. Second goal. Again, the extra offensive lineman. And the handoff to McCaffrey. And did he get enough? Yes, touchdown. Panthers. Christian McCaffrey with his second touchdown of the first half, giving the Panthers the lead. Ruled that he was over the goal line. Another look.
Well, you tell me Christian McCaffrey can't run between the tackles right here. Stick your foot in the ground, let your offensive line clear, put your nose down there, try to reach the ball over. I don't know that he got in. I mean, I don't know that there's a definitive look. Let's look right here. Is the ball cross? Boy, that's close. I think that's too close to overturn it, Chris.
Yeah, Jamie Collins put his shoulder into him right at the goal line. You couldn't tell. I don't believe it's enough evidence to be able to overturn it.
Remember, the call on the field was a touchdown.
But like you said, Christian McCaffrey, oh, is he too small? You know, can he run between the tackles? This guy is going to change a lot of people's minds going forward when it comes to the draft.
Question is, can we see the ball? No, he screens us from the ball, so we really can't tell.
But again, right here,
it's a touchdown.
It was called a touchdown.
And it is a touchdown.
It's too close to overturn. Yeah, that looks good to me.
So Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And the Panthers have taken a 14-7 lead. Penalty flag right at the line of scrimmage. Called against the Browns, or called against the Panthers. Walt Anderson actually pointed
Illegal
toward the
formation,
Browns.
number 90 of the defense lined up over the center. Carolina has elected to enforce the 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
So it was against the Browns in the 5-yard penalty. Agba guilty of it. 5-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff, but McCaffrey with 2 touchdowns and the Panthers leading 14-7 in box.
Want more stats? Hey Siri, who leads the league in touchdowns?
Well, the Panthers do well. 17 straight wins when they control the turnover battle, and that has been the problem for Ron Rivera's team, especially during the last 4 games. No one better than that man, Luke Kuechly, who made the tackle and forced the fumble by that man, Rashard Higgins. So Browns will start out at the 25. Cleveland Browns. Well, look at this. 23 plays run by the Panthers to only 5 for the Browns, and the ensuing time of possession edge as well.
Yeah, and this is where you want to get this thing figured out right there. You want to get your defense on that sideline, let them make a few adjustments to all the motions and the shifts, and give them a little time to catch their breath, CC.
Here's Nick Chubb trying to cut inside after going outside, but he couldn't fool K1 short. No gain.
For this Carolina defense, for them to play effective, the way they played like the last 6 or 7 years. Their defensive tackles have to be able to make plays like this. K1 Short, other guys, we talk about the coaching changes. Man, if these guys were playing better, you don't have to make those coaching changes, think.
K1 Short, you mentioned it. Poe on the inside.
Yes.
They're the two best players when it comes to collapsing the pocket and putting pressure on the quarterback. They've got to play big.
Running back Duke Johnson goes to the top of your picture as possible receiver, and a quick throw and a catch. Looks like Landry pointing through a first down. And let's see where they mark it. Looks like he'll be shy by a yard. 9-yard gain on the pass to Landry, who scored the Browns touchdown earlier.
I thought this was a bad spot here. I thought he went out of bounds before the marker, but he put the ball in his left hand to give him an additional yard. Let's see if they pick it up here where it comes back to be able to hurt an offense, because that 3rd and 1 is not a gift.
Panthers looking for the big stop here on 3rd and 1, and again Johnson moving out as a receiver. And here is Chubb in a crowd, but look at the second effort. He's going to get the first down. What an effort by Nick Chubb. And he gets the first down for the Browns when it looked like he was stopped behind the line of scrimmage. In time for a game break, here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, Mark Sanchez starting for Washington, his first NFL start in 3 years, not off to a good beginning. It was tipped, but it's still a pick 6 for Curtis Riley. 9 yards on that score, and the Giants are up by a touchdown as they start the second quarter. Dick, Mark, and Chris.
Boys, it's tough when you're going for a division title and trailing the Cowboys and you're up to your 3rd quarterback. 1st and 10. And the pitch to Chubb. Good pursuit by the Panthers. And Chubb barely gets to the line of scrimmage. Flag down. See if there's a hold here. Kuechly was there, not letting Chubb getting any running room. Just as he was about to tell us something, he went back to talk to an official.
Might have a couple flags on this play. Left guard might be holding. I think Schlereth had his eyeballs in this, but watch out for Jarvis Landry down the field. You see a little extra between him and the defensive back. That might have drawn a flag also.
There are 2 fouls, one by each team. Personal foul, face mask number 78, offense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 41, defense. Those fouls all set. We'll replay first down.
So is Robinson for the Browns and Captain Munnerlyn for the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, here's Robinson right here playing the left tackle. He's going to get out there on Addison. Now he's just going to reach up and right there grab the top of his face mask. Chris down the field.
They got a call. Yeah. Captain Munnerlyn, when he's trying to block him, he has his hands up in his chin, his face mask. We tell him, now listen, if you're going to put your hands in my face, I'm going to put my helmet on your knees so we can do this business however you want.
A couple of jousts going on there, huh? On both sides. 1st and 10. Replaying. And here is Chubb. They faked the pass and gave it to Chubb, and Chubb chased down by Kuechly, but a good 7-yard pickup by the Browns. Little deception.
Really
here.
nice play call because they've got blitz coming off at this edge right here. Little fake on the throw. That's a little Statue of Liberty play right there. Hand it out backwards to your running back. Let him pick up some yardage.
The ball skills of a quarterback. I mean, play action, what he does with the football when he's not throwing. It's very, very important for young players. Baker Mayfield has that ability.
2nd down and 3. Browns on their own 43, and there comes pressure, and they beat it with Chubb. Chubb beats it to a fare thee well. It gets into Panther territory. They came from all sides, and Chubb went up the middle and has a first down to the 44 of the Panthers, a pickup of 13.
I think you know this. We don't talk about interior offensive play, but the Cleveland Browns with Freddie Kitchens, since this offense has been resurgent, their center, both guards have played at an excellent level.
They certainly have. Moving the pile, moving the pocket right there, running away from the blitzer. I'm inside there, cutting back underneath the blitzer. Eric Reed, wonderful job.
Duke Johnson now is the tailback. They fake to him, and Mayfield under deep pressure. He gets it off to Darren Fells, and Fells gets a yard out of the play, but it could have been worse for the Browns, and another penalty flag is down. See if the Browns were guilty of holding here.
Holding, number 78, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's on Greg Robinson, so it's the second penalty against the left tackle Robinson on this drive.
And he struggled. He's got a lot of talent, but he's kind of like a street shooter. And talking to Freddie Kitchen, if he gets off to a good start.
Right. And he's trying to get out here on the edge. And look at him wrap his arms around Thomas Davis.
Little face mask action, huh?
Yeah, face mask at the end right there. But I'll tell you, the most impressive part of this is just Baker Mayfield knowing where his check down is, right? Under pressure, you could have taken a sack. I mean, one thing about him is he has a knowledge and he has a memory of where everybody is. He knows exactly where his outlets are, and if the first read or two are not open, he does not hesitate to find that outlet and get it to him.
Game within a game. That was Love, who's lucky wasn't called for face mask. It'll be a first down and 20, and Duke Johnson. They give it to the tight end, Njoku, on the throw, and Njoku doesn't get much, so it's going to be second down. They're back to the 46-yard line.
One thing that Adam Henry, the wide receiver coach, he requires these wide receivers to be physical in the run game or the quick passing game. Antonio Callaway doesn't block the corner there in cover 2. He comes up, makes a significant play behind the line of scrimmage for the Carolina Panthers.
Nick Chubb gets back in there on second down and 20. Mayfield on the screen to Chubb as a blocker, but Chubb loses his footing and is down. He had Bitonio, the guard, blocking in front, but just couldn't hold on and went down. Gain is 3, however.
Great reaction by Dante Jackson, the cornerback, rookie from LSU, second round. They target him on the first play of the game downtown with the big completion. In that short passing game, cover 2, you can expect these corners to get involved. He makes an excellent play right there.
Rookie from LSU. And Mayfield stepping up because he sees something deep. He does, and the ball is going to be caught. Touchdown by Jarvis Landry. What a catch and what a throw.
What a throw by Baker Mayfield. Now this is what you talk about. Guys like Drew Brees, veterans of the game, they get off their number 1, they get off their number 2. Even though he's under a little bit of duress, he keeps his eyes down the field. So impressive for a young player.
He is so good at climbing the pocket, making room for himself, and then getting the ball down the football field. He lets it rip, man. He ain't afraid. Like, he puts his whole body into it.
He had Callaway around the outside, but I was surprised he catches Jarvis Landry. I didn't know if he was going to be able to see him. And you could see, even though he's a little undersized, man, he can throw the football.
And
plenty of velocity.
Wow.
So accurate.
And a defender right on him, CC. Eric Reed was right there. That was the longest pass caught by Landry this year. 51 yards, his 3rd touchdown catch. And the Browns using the big play to hang in this game in the first half with the Panthers, who have had the ball so much more than the Browns. Greg Joseph ties the game with the point after, and 14-14. Baker Mayfield with his reaction. Boy, he has added a spark. From the moment he took the field against the Jets, you knew things changed for the Cleveland Browns. Well, in downtown Cleveland, they used to have LeBron James out there for everyone to see, but Baker Mayfield, we're putting him up there. He's not up there yet in the real life, but we're putting him up there now. And Mayfield, who last week struggled in the first half, came back in the second half against Houston. There was a little garbage time there, but he managed to throw for a lot of yards. 6 for 6 so far today for 133 yards. So picking up where he left off last week. And Kenyon Barner on the return for Carolina gets buried shy of the 20-yard line by Tanner Vallejo, the former Buffalo Bill. Penalty, another one. Greg Williams disappointed, to say the least. Cam Newton loosening up to get ready for his next turn. This is an overly long conference.
Yes. Seems to me just about on every kick, regardless of what it is, you can call a penalty. And I don't know what the delay here is with the officials.
Things have
I don't know if there's a penalty, but I think the referees just want some of that sunshine. It's about 32 degrees.
Yeah,
that is
probably about 38 in the sun over there.
That's a meeting of the minds right there. Everybody was over there.
A little high, I think 36. Okay, the sun.
There are fouls by each team. During the return, holding number 53 of the receiving team. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 35 of the kicking team. By rule, those fouls will all set. Ball will be placed at the dead ball spot, first down.
Well, Whitehead for the unnecessary unnecessary roughness penalty, personal foul. Ben Jacobs for Carolina. So that's what Greg Williams was displeased about, because he would have liked just the penalty against Carolina to set them back. But they're not in great shape anyway right now. They're on the 18. Panthers, 2 touchdowns, one of them coming as a result of a turnover in their first 3 possessions. Have had the ball 10 more times than the Browns. And the pass is going to be caught, first down to DJ Moore, and Moore still on his feet, getting away from trouble. What a run by Moore after the catch. Sensational play by the rookie from Maryland.
Just your classic RPO on this one. Cam Newton's going to read it out. He puts it in there, decides he's going to pull it out and throw it. And the game just starts for DJ Moore when he gets the ball in his hand. Runs a quick slant off the contact there, cover 2. But in traffic, this is what I talked about, him looking like Steve Smith.
And on the reverse, it's Jarius Wright on the flip. And we are seeing those wide receivers gain grounds, and they lead the NFL with over 14 yards rushing. And they see it there again with 5 after the 40-yard play involving DJ Moore.
You talk about DJ Moore, and Ron Rivera told us, hey, think about Devin Hester. When he gets the ball in his hand, he's like a Devin Hester type. And now we're going with tempo here as an offense for Carolina. Get them on their heels. That's what Carolina are saying.
Second down and 5, and Newton up the middle, and the catch by Ian Thomas. Time for a game break. Kurt Menefee.
All right, the Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City. Down by a touchdown, not anymore. Kenneth Dixon 3-yard score. Since then, they've added a field goal, and the Ravens have the lead on the road at the Chiefs. Dick, Mark, and Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. That Ian Thomas, he's got to shoulder a lot of the receiving role now that Olsen's out.
Cam Newton likes him as a player.
As well he should. And there is an open man. It's going to be Ian Thomas again, and he gets the first down by contact at the 18-yard line of the Browns, getting 12 more yards, and he shows it again.
Yeah, when you got the run game going, now all of a sudden I can come back with the boot game, and I can slide somebody across here, get Cam on the outside. Look at, everybody has lost Charles right there. Nobody can find him. That's just that's an easy pitch and catch. That's like stealing right there. It's too easy, Chris.
Over these next 4 games, watch for Ian Thomas to get a lot of yards after the catch. They like his running ability with the football.
Rookie from Indiana, had 3 catches last week, stepped up for them. And it'll be a first down. And here is McCaffrey. And McCaffrey getting almost to the 10-yard line before Brian Price brings him down. He got 5 on that play.
I like this. They put McCaffrey at fullback. They run a little inside zone, have him coming from the other way. I'm very impressed with Norv, the different play selection, formation selection. If I'm a Cleveland Browns defender, I don't know what they're going to do next.
Chris Clark.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
5-yard penalty against Clark, the left tackle.
Yeah, well, anytime, you know, you're right here. Anytime you've got to go against Garrett, you've got to go against some of the rushers that they have there. You're gonna the Zettel right there. You're gonna have a few of the jumps. You know, the thing about Chris Clark is he was called week 2 on a Wednesday, practiced the week, and then started and played every snap. So he's a guy that they brought in to play left tackle.
It's that easy, huh?
No, it's not easy.
Second down and 10. Giving ground, and ball bouncing in front of Thomas. Incomplete. Nothing there for Cam Newton, obviously, and he did the right thing.
A great job by Cam there, realizing he didn't have anything. They tried to run the double screen, faking to McCaffrey to the left, trying to get the tight end to the right. Smart quarterback, realizing I'm in the red zone. Give myself another chance, throw it in the ground, dial it up on third down.
Panthers with the top red zone offense in the league. The first 8 games dropped off the last 4.
Sometimes you just got to have somebody make a play for you. Have a dude make a play.
Third down and 10 from the 18. And the slant catch tackle. DJ Moore won't get the first down. TJ Carey, the cornerback, makes the stop. Gain of 7. Field goal team coming on, but a good stop for the Browns.
Great job by Greg Williams. What they want to do on fourth down, like a lot of good coordinators, good defensive coaches do, blitz you, force you to throw it hot, come up, rally to the ball, make the tackle, make you kick the field goal, or make you punt it. This time, kick the field goal attempt.
So Chandler Catanzaro, who has never missed a kick here in Cleveland. In fact, kicked a 59-yard field goal against these Browns while a member of the Buccaneers earlier in the season. This will be a 30-yarder. Graham Gano inactive today, and he booms this one through. And the Panthers get 3 to take a 17-14 lead, but it was a good stop that time.
By Taco Bell's rolled chicken tacos.
Hey, this is great. Finally, Baker Mayfield, the real deal. And, of course, these guys have waited a long time to smile in a football game. Winning recipe. Looks like they've got it all there, guys.
Oh, they certainly do. And Baker Mayfield, I mean, he's, you know, pushed the ball down the field. He's made the big plays. We mentioned how accurate he is. What Drew Brees say? Drew Brees said, you know how you become accurate? Know where everybody is on the football field and distribute the ball. Make sure you get your check downs thrown.
Dick, you're into good food. Sometimes it takes a good chef, but you need good ingredients.
Oh.
And that's what the Browns have.
There's no question about it. I think their future is bright, but even when you look at some of the other game teams in the division. But how about Mayfield?
Yeah, climbing up the pocket right here. Oh, just on the money, over the shoulder to your receiver. Slide out, buy yourself some time, and there is no defense for the perfect pass, CC.
It's really hard to teach plays off schedule. A lot of bad things, especially happen for young quarterbacks. For him to be able to find the second and third guy. Dick, you talked about what he did in the second half of that Texans game. People might think that's garbage time, but that's quality time for a young player. Positive reinforcement, 350. Now he comes out today red hot, 6 for 6. Man, let's build on this young kid's resume. And the Cleveland Browns fans on the weekend here in town, we've been going around, they're so excited to see the young kid play.
No question, he stays on his feet, good protection. No sacks in the last 3+ games. He gets good time there, and the pass is going to be caught by the tight end David Njoku. He goes down deep. Boy, he is not afraid to get it downfield, is he?
No, he's not. And look at all these guys along the line of scrimmage. You know how you keep your quarterback upright, not give up any sacks? Run 2- and 3-man routes, have your quarterback put it on the numbers, and make sure he's protected.
And ever since the staff changes, man, they solidified that pocket. We're not going to let our franchise quarterback get hit in the mouth stink. And you know, hey, that's one thing young quarterbacks don't like to do, and that's get hit, and they've reassured that pocket security.
28 yards, they fake the pass, hand off to Chubb, and nothing doing there, thanks to Eric Reed, who comes in from the secondary to make the play.
I tell you, you know who Baker reminds me of with all the play fakes and the ball handle? You got to have big hands to handle the ball the way he does. But he reminds me of Brett Favre. Remember Brett Favre, hand one off and then fake like a jump pass and do all that? He's got that kind of body language, the way he climbs the pocket. And one other thing that reminds me of Favre, he is not afraid to just throw it from his toes, man. Just let that ball eat.
Well, we haven't seen Baker Mayfield throw an incompletion yet, guys. And it's 2nd down and 9 in Panther territory. And the pass, well, don't say I jinxed him, please. Pass to Chubb, broken up by Kuechly.
No, that's not your fault. It hit him in the soft spot, right in the middle of his hands. That's not your fault, Dick. I mean, you've been at the free throw line. This guy shoot 95%. Oh, Dick's jinxed him. Now, you might have jinxed him, but you didn't jinx this guy right here.
And there's one guy that I wouldn't vote into his area, and that's Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly will diagnose a play, and he will be there before the ball gets there.
I jinx a lot of guys, believe me, especially in the NBA. 3rd down and 9. Duke Johnson checks in. 3rd down back. Here comes the pressure up in Mayfield's face. Good protection. And what a catch by Rashard Higgins. Going up high for it. And 16 yards.
That's going to help make up for that fumble there. Getting him right on the edge of the red zone. Runs a deep curl route. Baker puts the ball away from the defender. What I like here, Rashard Higgins, watch him come back down the passing tree. Watch him keep the ball away from the defender to make sure he can't get in there and poke it out. Big time play. Watch Baker with the throw.
Right.
Over a linebacker, in front of a DB.
The defensive end drops off the ball, creates space. He's got to get it over there to the curl. Beautiful.
2-minute warning. Boy, Landry loves it. The Browns love it. They're a different team. Welcome you back to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, with the Panthers leading the Browns 17-14. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Been a long while since you've seen smiles on the faces of the fans in the dog pound and everywhere else here at the stadium.
It was great coming to the game today. People out tailgating, selling memorabilia on the streets. Haven't had this type of excitement on the weekends for football here in Cleveland in a long time.
Certainly haven't. Number 6 is a big reason why.
First down on the 31. Browns have 3 timeouts remaining.
Double pass.
Goes out to Landry. Landry is waiting, and he fires it downfield into the end zone. Knocked away in a terrific defensive play by Dante Jackson. Nick Chubb, the running back, was deep, and Jackson just extended himself and saved the touchdown.
Jarvis Landry gets a little greedy here, trying to go downfield. We saw him run this in practice on Friday. We were expecting this, a double pass. People don't know Jarvis Landry, the lefty from LSU. He was either hoping to get the wide receiver, but in practice you could also see Baker Mayfield was open.
Look at Chubb, though. Chubb goes to play in defense right here. He gets down there, defensive back in perfect position. Chubb makes a play over Dante Jackson.
Handoff is to Duke Johnson. And trying to grab the ball away, as you can tell. And Luke Kuechly went after the ball first, and not much for Johnson. It'll be 3rd down.
Did Freddie Kitchens tell Luke Kuechly what the play was before? Goodness gracious. He got there before the puller could.
I'm telling you what, I'm talking to Steve Russ, linebackers coach, and he said this guy is insatiable in his appetite for information, and he can absorb it all. He'll be out there calling, hey, man, it's a trap, it's a trap. No, watch the sweep, watch the sweep. No, they're coming back. Like when the quarterback checks, Luke Kuechly checks. He is phenomenal, and I'm telling you what, he knows exactly what they're running at all times.
Most tackles for any player in history, first 7 seasons of a career. How's that? 3rd down and 10. Empty backfield. And a drop pass. Higgins giveth and taketh away. He fumbled, made a great catch, and then he drops a wide open pass.
Freddie Kitchens has him set up here in 3rd and long. Baker Mayfield brings his head to the left, even though he knows that he has the wide receiver matched up on Thomas Davis in the slot. Baker sets him up perfectly, comes out, gives a little head placement, fires a heater down the pump seam. Drop, should have been a touchdown.
Oh, should have been. Man, you can't set it up any better than that. Getting a receiver on a linebacker, matched up one-on-one.
Greg Joseph will attempt a 49-yarder right here. And Joseph's kick, and the kick is good. Greg Joseph, who has just 2 misses. rookie from Florida Atlantic University, salvages something for the Browns, who look like they might be going in for the touchdown. But it's Higgins who's done, well, he cost them with a turnover, made a great catch here, and then he drops what might have been a touchdown pass. But the Browns get 3, and we're all tied at 17. And company looking things over. Don't want to leave out Julius Peppers, of course. That's Greg Joseph, whose 49-yard field goal tied the game moments ago. And out of the end zone. And we'll be right back after this message from State Farm.
Sorry, Aaron, I know this stings, but defense wins championships, and we're defending your truck now, so State Farm, you can pack those khakis and go.
Who's protecting my house?
Should I unpack my khakis?
No, you keep those khakis packed.
It's a battle for the top of the AFC West as Phillip Rivers and the Chargers clash with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. What a start to the night! Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
And the Brown fans, you've got to check your phone. Got to see, or let them know you're at the game. Cam Newton, see what he springs here. 2 timeouts left for Carolina. 59 seconds to go in the first half. Handoff is to Christian McCaffrey, and he'll get about 2, thanks to Joe Schobert. Interesting to see what North Turner has in mind now, with the clock running down to a half a minute still, with a couple of timeouts to go, and going downfield, and the pass is caught to the 45-yard line by Curtis Samuel. He gets 18, and a timeout is called.
This is the second charge.
And right now, let's check in with
Carolina.
Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Chiefs look to clinch a playoff berth as they host the Ravens. The Colts battle the Texans down in Houston, and the Patriots try to wrap up the AFC East title against the Dolphins. Be sure to join us. You never know who's going to drop on by.
Especially those tall Cletus guys. Right.
You should get Cletus to run down on kickoff.
Yeah.
He'd be a menace.
I don't know how good he's going to be in this 36.
You think you may be like Tin Man? Need a little oil?
Righty rake.
Some oil to me.
From the 46, first down. Trying to get at least into field goal range, but time is the big factor here. And Cam Newton in traffic. Ball is loose. Fight for the loose ball, and the question will always be, was he in the act of passing? And let's see.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Browns. Finally, it was Myles Garrett. We haven't mentioned his name yet today, guys. He put the pressure on Cam Newton.
Please reset the game clock to 16
And of course, they'll
seconds.
review it as well. Emmanuel Ogbah recovered it for the Browns.
Well, Myles Garrett coming up. Watch the jump he gets right here. Now he goes to one-arm bull. Look at him shove Clark into the back of Cam Newton, creating the fumble. And he said it's not enough anymore just to get sacks. I need to get strip sack fumbles. I need to make plays happen.
Yeah, that's
there
a
it
fumble.
is, on the hand.
That's a fumble.
That get off, Stink, in watching film with you, you talked about, hey, as a pass protector, hey, Chris, them first couple steps, I was like, oh, that's something I never really looked at. But you talk about what an advantage and how special he is, like Bruce Smith and other greats.
Right. As a player, I used to get sideline copy and said, let me see the first guy off the ball, because the first guy off the ball is your best
Ruling
player.
on the field of a fumble and recovery is under further review.
I'll tell you this, you watch him, he'll get a step on the ground before other guys get their hand off the ground. That's how quick. And talking to Greg Williams, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, man, he told us both. He's like, there are guys like Aaron Donald has that, Myles Garrett has
Yes.
that. There are guys that just have this innate nature to be able to do that. They don't look at the ball, they just understand it.
Coming into the game tied for 4th with 11.5 sacks, 4 behind Aaron Donald. He had 7 as a rookie, but you're right. Greg Williams wants more strip sacks and maybe doing what the coach wants here.
I talked to his position coach, and I'm very, very fortunate. His position coach is a guy named Clyde Simmons, guy I played my first 3 years in the league with there in Philadelphia. And Clyde was an outstanding rusher. One of the silent on that great Philadelphia East defense that included Jerome Brown, my great roommate who passed away, and also the great Reggie White, another great man who we lost.
Yeah.
And so Clyde, he's had great perspective on great rushers. He believes the one he's got is going to be special.
Yeah. I played against those defenses.
Ooh.
Let me tell you what. Well, you almost needed a smoke bomb to get me out of the locker room to go play against those guys. My knees were shaking. They were knocking a little bit, CC.
I once saw those 4 guys sack Aikman 12 times in a game.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback had control of the ball and pushed it forward, which makes it an incomplete pass. Be second down at the 40.
Brown fans can't understand it. I originally thought it was a fumble. I don't know what you guys thought.
I mean, it looked like a fumble, but you could see right there on the instant replay at the end, Cam did one of those Tom Brady things where he makes it hard on the referee because you could see his hand extend, his fingers go out to simulate a pass.
Dean Blandino, let's see what you think, Dean. They call it an incomplete pass. You got the hand out there.
That's the key. It's the hand coming forward with control. And even though this isn't a conventional throwing motion, he does kind of push that ball forward. The hand does come slightly forward. So by rule, this is a forward pass. It's close, but I agree with the overturn.
Okay.
All right, Dean. I just disagree with the rule, but you can agree with the overturn. I disagree with the rule. It's too hard to get those kind of pressures on a quarterback and not to get your sack. Now he went from 11.5 to 12.5, right back down to 11.5 sacks for Myles Garrett.
So the Panthers retain the ball, under a half a minute to go, and going in the air and completing to Jarius Wright. And the clock running down to 18 seconds. 1 timeout left for the Panthers, and they can still make a play to get into field goal range. And here's the pass, and it is knocked down, incomplete with 5 seconds to go. They looked a little casual there, not calling a timeout to set up a play that could get them into field goal range.
Oh, I thought they made a mistake there. When Cam completes it and the wide receiver doesn't get out of bounds, you're already at midfield. You have to be able to take the timeout, you'll conserve, because also you have a quarterback that can reach the end zone. We've seen this before.
Yes.
Substitution in for Cam for the Hail Mary because he's got the bad shoulder.
We got Rick.
Taylor Heineke is in the game now. He played at the last play.
He's got a big-time arm. I was watching him throw before the game.
Here comes the big-time arm, and the pass is going to be caught to no avail as Curtis Samuel makes the grab, and time runs out. A weird finish to this first half. And the DirecTV play in the first half was the touchdown. Look at this throw by Mayfield and this catch by Landry. What a play. We're all tied at 17. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony. And that all starts right now.
Audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive as we get set to start the second half here from Lambeau Field. 20-7. The Packers 20 unanswered in front of the Falcons right now. And we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. We've seen some penalties And I know you've been dying to show us the boxing gloves all year. So what's going on here?
Well, you know, the defensive backs, you saw a couple against Atlanta. A lot of times defensive back coaches will put their guys in boxing gloves in practice so they can't grab and hold and try and get them out of that habit. So they put them on them and do that. Mike Pettin, the defense coordinator of the Packers, says he threatened a couple of his guys with them this year, hasn't used them so far. But they have a second purpose. Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, often shows his guys UFC and boxing matches to give them inspiration and toughness and having to grit it out. And guess what? They're going to have to fight this second half. It'll be a boxing match for the Falcons to try and come from down 17.
I'm about to find out what they've got. Damon Moore has the kick return, and that's where Green Bay will start just shy of their 30. Down to the field with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, it was a glass half full for Dan Quinn. He loved the fact that they were getting those sacks and pressures on Aaron Rodgers, but wasn't so happy with Rodgers' scrambling ability. He said, we can't let him hurt us in that regard. As for Joe Philbin, he was full of jokes when I talked to him coming out. He told me that as far as those challenges go, he says, well, you can't save them, and I just wanted to have a good time with those. And as far as Aaron Rodgers and those sacks goes, he said that we just got to block these guys up, plain and simple.
Yeah, 4 sacks for Atlanta. And here is Jones. Aaron Jones with a good run. And Charles, you now a late penalty at the end of this. Charles, you were calling for them to run the ball with Aaron Jones. They didn't really do it in the first half. Maybe this half they get to it a little here with a lead. Only 3 carries, 7 yards in the first half, as we see and wait for the penalty from Walt Coleman.
Personal foul, lowering the head and making contact. Number 15, number 27, number 20 of the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Walt Coleman calling out numbers like I did at the half when I said they were down 17 is 20-7. Okay, so my math skills not too terrific, but right there at the end of the play, they're talking about this is the penalty that we talked about all preseason, didn't we, Kevin? That we were wondering how it would affect the game. And DeMonte KZ, number 27, leading with the head, helmet-to-helmet contact right there. The officials detecting it.
Dean Blandino said it's kind of invisible there for a while, but they're starting to call it more the last couple of weeks, so it's been a point of emphasis, and we get one there. Here is Rodgers. Standing in, pressure again, breaks through, another penalty flag. He's got Graham, but he could not connect with Jimmy Graham. We get a penalty. We have an injured Packers lineman, too. And they certainly don't need that with 3 other starters already out.
Holding, number 54, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Aluakon. Justin McCray, the right guard, he is the one down.
He was already filling in for Byron Bell, who's inactive today. And you see right here, Aluakon right there, grabbing Jimmy Graham.
That's the penalty injury for Green Bay. Back after this.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Justin McCray, the right guard, limped off, and you see him walking around. I mean, the Packers came into this game without 3 starting offensive linemen. 3. And now there's another one out. And you see Alex Light coming in, the rookie from Richmond. So Adam Pankey, who they just signed the other day, well, he's the guy, the only one left on the offensive line on the bench right now. Here's first down for Aaron Rodgers. After the throw, is going to dump it off to Jones. Stiff arm. Nice play. First down. So Aaron Jones, who was quiet in the first half, a little more involved in this half, and the stiff arm of Aluakon.
I just always think it's a mistake if he doesn't touch the ball more. When he touches it, good plays happen downfield, whether he's running it or catching it. Nice straight arm on Aluakon, and look how he finishes the run, getting upfield and extending his body.
Well, I asked Joe Philbin that question. I said, hey, how many touches does he need? He said, well, between receiving and rushing, I'd like to get him 20. He's got 5.
And not even close to that.
Look 58! Look 58!
Go to him again. Why not? They'll make it 6. So clearly it was talked about at the half as a 3rd touch so far on this drive. McCray is back in, so that's good news for Green Bay because he was already subbing for the injured Byron Bell.
And he's a former starter for Green Bay. So McCray has experience with the guys in the offensive line. Next to Corey Lindsley, number 63, the center. Brian Bulaga not playing at right tackle, but they used to form the right side of the offensive line before they ended up making a change with Byron Bell.
Blitz coming. Rodgers in trouble. Rodgers gets away somehow, still alive, and now he just tries to sling it out of bounds, and he does. All kinds of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and all told, it's an incomplete pass. But we get a penalty way down the field inside the 10 now.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 45, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Deion Jones. That is the 6th defensive penalty, Charles, on Atlanta. 5 of them have given Green Bay a first down.
See Deion Jones rotating over with Jimmy Graham, and he tries to chuck him or shuck him. But remember, you have 5 yards from the line of scrimmage as your contact zone. He was well beyond that when he came across and did that. And that, of course, helped out Green Bay. And how about Aaron Rodgers? Normally we think of that's like a Ben Roethlisberger play. Hard to get a big guy on the ground, and he goes it away and saves the sack. Aaron Rodgers just got it done.
Rodgers on the slant to Adams, incomplete. It Alford on the coverage. Adams was open. Rodgers missed him.
Good job in coverage there by Alford, Kevin. Remember earlier in the game when Alford got caught holding him on a similar route in a similar part of the field? This time he plays it well with good technique and forces the incompletion.
Rodgers on the day, 130 yards and a touchdown. That to Davante Adams, his 12th of the year, which, by the way, ties his career high.
And he hasn't touched it much lately. He's got one-on-one down here at the bottom.
Rodgers going the other way, looking incomplete for Jimmy Graham. Valdez-Scantling was in the area too, and Poole was there to knock it away.
Well, they had the size matchup you'd like. Jimmy Graham, 6'7", nearly 270 pounds. Watch him in number 80 in green. And Brian Poole at 5'11". Look how Poole elevates, gets in front of Graham, and makes it a very difficult throw. That's a good job by Brian Poole. You're not going to win the size battle, but he obscured him enough to make it a difficult catch.
3rd and 10. Blitz again from Atlanta. Rodgers stands in, throwing, going end zone. It's a touchdown. Randall Cobb.
So Cobb right here, number 18, works, and he goes out and then turns it upfield against Sherrod Neesmith, a safety who is much better against the run than he is against the pass, especially when Aaron Rodgers is dropping this dime right over his shoulder into the arms of his veteran receiver and trusted target, number 18, Randall Cobb.
Old, reliable Randall Cobb. He's had injury issues this year. He's missed 6 games with a hamstring, but delivering there, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and the first one since opening week against the Bears. Extra point is up and good. Aaron Rodgers with a beauty, 24 yards to Randall Cobb, right there. And the Packers are rocking and rolling. 27 unanswered for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers having fun today as his Packers are rolling. 27 unanswered points, and he also set a new NFL record. He now has 359 pass attempts without an interception, which is incredible. So Rodgers 2 touchdowns today, which makes him on the year 23 touchdowns, Charles, and 1 interception.
He had a scare though, right?
He did.
Deion Jones early in the second quarter. But he got it done. That's phenomenal. And it's 359 and counting.
It's really amazing. Here's Hall on the kick return. In December, Aaron Rodgers, what has he done at home? Now, look, he's been pretty awesome. I know last week they lost 16-2. He actually lost his first December home start, too. So he had a 16-in-a-row streak in there. Oh, 44 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, make it now 46 touchdowns, 5 interceptions at December here at Lambeau Field. So just awful numbers for Aaron Rodgers.
Not bad for a California kid. How about that?
We talked to him yesterday at practice. He said, you know what? I have the hand warmer on. You got the helmet on. You're fine. Speak for yourself.
Exactly like Pam said. Pam Oliver said in the first half. I don't know what you're talking about. Just cold up.
See if the Falcons have an answer here. And right now, off the bat, they don't. Fackrell with a good tackle. You think about this, Charles. Atlanta went down the field in the opening drive. Now, granted, a couple controversial calls and scored a touchdown. They went down on the next drive, and then Ryan got sacked, fumbles. It was, technically he just dropped the ball, and then a miss of a long field goal, and they haven't done a thing since.
I mean, look at the numbers. First drive, 75 yards, touchdown. The last 4 drives, 54 yards total. They did miss a field goal attempt there with Matt Bryant and a pick 6. Which highlighted what Green Bay's defense was doing.
Julio Jones had 4 catches for 69 yards in the first quarter. Nothing since. This is a good run, though, by Tevin Coleman, who's going to at least make it a 3rd down and short. And I do think this is an interesting point for Atlanta. They were 4-4. They looked like they were ascending. They've, all of a sudden they hit the wall. They lose 4 in a row. And they're getting their butts beat in here today. So I'm sure Dan Quinn is trying to see what kind of response his team has.
And they preach fighting and toughness all the time and battling. This is a great time to put it on display.
3rd down. 4-man rush on a step. Matt Ryan is sacked. Clay Matthews came on the game, and it worked to perfection.
So watch Matthews, as you noted, Kevin, working the game, comes upfield, lets Kenny Clark go first, and then he clears back inside. And Ty Sambrello, number 74, struggling in his first start there. Not all on him. Who's going to pass off to whom? And Clay Matthews found his target, number 2, Matt Ryan.
Matt Bosher will punt it away. High, spiraling kick. Alexander fumbled the football. Who got it back? He got it back himself. So Alexander, that could have been a big turning point, but instead Alexander jumps on it. Aaron Rodgers having himself some fun. His team up by 20.
Dollar King Box, only at Burger King.
Well, the Atlanta offense got off to a great start. They scored on their opening drive. They went right down the field pretty much. And since then, they have not done much at all. And you see Matt Ryan's numbers, just the big sack by Clay Matthews. Now Green Bay up by 20 after 27 unanswered points with the football one more time. Aaron Jones, nowhere to run. Steven Means with a heck of a play. Well, Charles, I know you're going to like this. You had the boxing gloves out before, right? Twin brothers defending their titles in a huge night of championship fights on Fox. Jermall Charlo takes on Willie Monroe Jr., while Jermell Charlo, I can assure you they're not the same person. They're twins. Jermell will defend his belt against Tony Harrison. PBC, December 22nd, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Not bad. Both of them carrying belts.
It's pretty good.
And not having to fight each other.
I know.
You're like the Klitschko brothers.
Straight left. 319 up.
Here is Rodgers. Over the middle. Incomplete. But Deion Jones has had his hands on a couple of them today. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
So you bring up the interception, not throwing an interception streak, and you put him immediately in jeopardy.
It's like throwing the field goal graphic on the screen.
Nice job by Jones reading, and then how about triggering and going for the football? He sees it, and look at how fast he moves for it. This is what Atlanta was missing when he was out with the broken foot and missed 10 ball games.
A 3rd down and 14. Come with a 3-man rush this time. Rodgers stands in, and he's got a 1st down. Beauty to Davante Adams, who came across and picks up the first that has 16 yards.
For that route to develop, Aaron Rodgers had to have excellent protection to allow him the time. And look at what they do. No one near him able to step up and make the throw with anticipation. Excellent hands catch by Davante Adams. Alford almost knocks it free, and Adams retains the football.
Jake Kumro in the game for the first time, number 16. He had an unbelievable preseason, active for the first time last week. They're going to swing it around, and Jones, well, that was dangerous. Try to get a little trickery going to Jones, but Sherrod Niesman was right there. Charles was saying about Kumro, we've been talking about these young receivers. He's been on IR most of the year. He was a star in the preseason. They think he could be something here.
He caught 6 passes in the preseason, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. But when you average 31.7 yards, that's a heck of a preseason. And a fan favorite. Remember, he came out of Wisconsin Whitewater, Division III school, and the fans loved what he did in the last couple preseasons. And Aaron Rodgers really likes him as a target.
Second down. Rodgers looking that way. Now comes back to Jones. Has some blocking. Aaron Jones makes a move. Aaron Jones to midfield. 15 yards to Aaron Jones. He got a couple of good blocks up front as well.
So a screen to the left doesn't work, but they're not daunted. They come back with a screen to the right. Watch Joe Philbin and watch this guy, Aaron Jones. Just steps up, and now out in front, McCray, 64 right here. Look at Lindsley, 63. And then watch Jones with the vision cutting back inside to allow Lucas Patrick to serve as a little bit of a shield as he gets upfield. One more time, Kevin. Aaron Jones needs to touch the ball more in this Green Bay offense.
Always making things happen. Give it to him here on the run. Jones sprinting through. Aaron Jones. As you were saying, Charles Davis, he's electrifying at another Packers first down with 14 yards.
And what a nice job there, because not only did the O-line do a nice job, they actually went with a 2-back formation with Jamal Williams, number 30, as a lead blocker. Look at Williams right there helping lead. Nice blocking right there, and then all the way through. And look how he finishes the run against Deion Jones, who was a Pro Bowl middle linebacker last year.
Joe Philbin's got to be thinking, this head coaching thing is easy.
How about first-time play calling as well?
Also easy. On first down, they will run it again. Jones tries to reverse field, slips, and not much there. Tack McKinley had the play. Game break time. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Saints looking to get their offense going, trailing 14-3 in Tampa. Play action. Drew Brees finds fullback Zach Line for the 1-yard score. Saints still trailing 14-9.
You know, the Bucks beat the Saints the last time they played them, Charles.
Season opener. Yep. Outscored them in New Orleans. Everybody thought this was a revenge game. This Tampa Bay team is playing better over the last few weeks of this season.
Oh, that cadence works, and there is contact, so they'll blow the play dead. At least I think it was on Atlanta jumping.
Encroachment, number 94, defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, there is the playoff picture. The Saints, you know, they beat the Rams, but a game back, and if they lose, the Rams, and they must be licking their chops. They've got a tough game tonight with Chicago, but they've got an easy schedule the rest of the way after that.
Saints were trying to get it back to where they're tied with the same number of losses because they own the tiebreaker head-to-head with their win earlier this year in New Orleans.
So that is important.
How about Seattle and Minnesota going at it Monday night?
And I'm going to throw this out there too. It's Jones. Aaron Jones trying to go all the way. Touchdown. Give that man the ball.
Watch this side of the Packers line. Look at Spriggs, 78, McCray, 64, Lindsley, 63. All of them matched up on a defender, and that thing opened up so easily. And Aaron Jones sifted his way and then sprinted his way into the end zone. Look at this.
29 yards on the touchdown run. Aaron Jones, 34 on it.
Singer premieres January 2nd on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's.
5 straight games with a rushing touchdown for Aaron Jones. You see in the first half, he didn't get it much. Only 3 carries, 7 yards, and Charles basically begged Green Bay to give it to him. They listened to Charles, and he's had success.
I think it goes back to something you mentioned early, that starting the game throwing the ball as Green Bay did, which was their strategy. Maybe they want Jamal Williams in the ball game for pass protection. But as the game has moved on, giving the ball to Aaron Jones has worked quite well. And he's also caught the ball out of the backfield, too.
Hall's going to take it out of the end zone. He gets right around where he would have been anyway. Coming up next, a huge game on America's Game of the Week, as Carson Wentz and the Eagles taking on Dak and Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys. It's a showdown for first place in the NFC East. Cowboys won in Philly a couple weeks ago. So the Cowboys win, they could drop the hammer on Philadelphia in the division. But an Eagles win, they're all tied with the same record, and that would change everything. Action on Fox, on the Fox Sports app. Here's what happened the last time Elliott had a monster day. Van Der Esch, a big game, and made the game-saving tackle too. Cowboys have won 4 in a row since that game. Here are the Falcons. We're up 7-0 at one point, down 34-7 at this point. And Charles, I think when you talk to Dan Quinn like we did today, and the Falcons are going to go fast here, you know, he did not shy away from their losing streak, right? He told us, I addressed it. There's 2 ways to do it. I addressed it head on. We talked about it a lot. Here's Ryan on the fake. That's time. Ryan stands in. Flag comes in from the secondary as the throw to Jones is incomplete. But I'm curious, Dan Quinn, his thinking right now about what he's seeing.
Pass. Holding, number 37, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And before we get to Dan Quinn, it's interesting. We talked about the boxing gloves at the half about holding. Josh Jackson is one of those players. Mike Pettin, the defense coordinator, threatened with putting boxing gloves on in practice because he tends to hold and grab a lot. And you see right there, he grabs right off the top. And a lot of it is just technique, Kevin. He gets beat early, he panics, and he reaches and grabs. Back to the Falcons as you go on.
Oh, pressure on that to get rid of it, incomplete. He had no chance as Matthews was coming in with the pressure.
Matthews with the pressure, and Blake Martinez was right on the coverage. So watch here, 52, and watch 50. They work in tandem, in concert. Matthews with the force, and then Martinez is right there just in case Saubert does catch the football. He's right in the teeth of it, and Ryan just trying to get rid of it.
They'll run it up to the 40 is Ito Smith. But getting back to Atlanta, Dan Quinn said, look, I called out 10 or 12 leaders in the room. So how does he react to this?
That's going to be a difficult one because he told them, this is what I'm seeking, guys. Leadership from you as a team. A much better turnover margin. That hasn't been the case today. And relentless on and off field effort. I don't know how he's going to grade that with the score being what it is. But the other part is, with this offense struggling so much, we haven't seen Julio Jones make a play in a long time. Haven't been able to get the ball to their #1 guy.
Julio Jones hasn't had a catch since the first quarter when he had 4 of them for 69 yards. That's him in motion. 3rd and 4. Ryan back. He's trying to change that. Sanu makes a catch and then makes a great move. First down and more. Mohamed Sanu down near the 32, but a penalty all the way back near the quarterback here. Clay Matthews is saying, hey, that's coming back.
He believes he drew a holding call.
Holding, number 70, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And even more important, Kevin, who did he draw it off of?
Pretty funny.
That would be Clay Matthews' cousin, Jake Matthews. Boy, they'll be having a lot to talk about during the holidays and the next family get-together, won't they?
You know, Mike Pettin was talking to us about Clay Matthews, and he said, you know, I give him a lot of credit. I know it's been a frustrating year for him because, quite honestly, I haven't let him rush the passer as much. I've dropped him back to help us cover up for the deficiencies in the back end, and he's been great about it. But he's obviously had an impact in this second half, rushing the passer. Doing it again. So is everybody else. Ryan's going to take advantage. He's got Julio Jones deep, and he can't get there. Incomplete. He had a step on Jair Alexander, but Jones could not catch up to it, and Atlanta will have to punt it away.
I see Jair Alexander taking in the crowd noise and feeling like this imagination, but if this ball's well thrown, he's beat. I mean, you know, I understand being excited. I get it. You're a rookie. You're happy. Your team's doing well. But if that ball's thrown in the right spot, Julio Jones is sprinting for the end zone.
As Bosher punts, and a fair catch is called for by Randall Cobb. You think about it, Charles, you go back not too long ago, right? These teams were in the NFC Championship game as the final game of the Georgia Dome. 2016, it was Matt Ryan, the Falcons offense, which was #1 in the league all year, and they were #1 in this game. They rolled. Julio Jones had a monster game in that one with the long touchdown and a 44-21 win for Atlanta. Of course, they went on and lost in the Super Bowl to New England. But since that game, these two teams have really struggled, and they've got, obviously, we know about their star power, but man, that was the result that day, 44-21. But you move on, and it's really been mediocre for both. Falcons are 15-16, and a penalty, and then another one.
False
Shocker.
start, number 89, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
But was just showing you the records. Falcons are a game under 500 coming into today since that game. Packers 11-16-1 since that. Now, a caveat is that Aaron Rodgers missed most of the year last year, so take that into account. But you get the idea. It wasn't too long ago, and these teams have struggled to find themselves since.
You almost want, since we're having so much boxing today, Ali Frazier, their third fight to throw in Manila, neither won the same after that. A titanic clash.
So it's first down for the Packers. It's been their day, and Rodgers going for more. Trying to get it to Davante Adams, couldn't get it there, and it'll be a second down. You know, a moment ago we showed Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, on the left. Thomas Dimitroff is on your right, but a big night for Arthur Blank, also the owner of the Atlanta United, who won the MLS Cup last night. Really an amazing story. Their attendance all year was sensational.
They set another record last night, over 73,000 there. And how about that? They swept it all. The league MVP was also the finals MVP. A huge win in front of the home crowd. Their first MLS title. Congratulations to Mr. Blank and the organization.
Blank made it here for the game. So he has last night, he sees a joyous night in Atlanta and the MLS Cup, and now that cup of coffee probably doesn't taste so good because it's 34-7.
Yeah, not exactly what he's been looking for this entire season. Green Bay wanting to go quickly now.
3rd and 12. As Charles, the wave is going here at Lambeau.
I didn't know it was still done.
Listen, Green Bay, we talk about tradition. We talk about old school.
Definitely old school.
The wave lives. 3rd and 12. 4-man rush. Rodgers has time. Going to throw incomplete. He wanted a penalty on Adams, who was looking for one but did not get one. Oliver on the coverage, and instead Green Bay will punt it away. Quinn liking the effort there.
There it is. You know, the wave started on the West Coast, you know. It's a Pac-12 thing before it moved across the rest of the country. I believe University of Washington.
I think it's important to realize that here at Lambeau, you sit on the metal bleachers.
You don't mind getting up.
And your backside gets a little cold when it's 20 degrees out.
Wave's a good thing.
I think it's very functional. J.K. Scott will punt it away. Love it, having some fun at Lambeau as the Falcons will take over down 34-7, and we'll be right back 30 seconds after this message.
Gordon, how much time?
I'd say 6 minutes and we're a baked potato.
It's reporting structural damage.
The planet's breakup is accelerating.
You shall die!
Don't do this. Hope this works.
It'll work. I think it'll work. I am capable of causing you great pain, Captain.
Take a message back to your people. Welcome to the galaxy.
The Orville premieres December 30th on Fox.
It's one of my favorite shows, Charles. Seth MacFarlane, great first season. Can't wait for season number 2 as we look at Matt Ryan. Got off to a red-hot start, and he and the offense have been quiet since. Ryan stands in, and he's got a completion to Julio Jones. Yard shy of a first down. Game break with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Ryan Tannehill putting the Dolphins in front of the Patriots. Yes. 23-yard touchdown pass to Bryce Butler, making it 28-27 late in the third quarter. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Is there some kind of kryptonite down in Miami for the Patriots or something?
There certainly is.
They never play well there as a first down for Atlanta. Coleman on the carry.
But they're going for another division title.
The 10th in a row.
New England finds a way late.
By the way, looking around the scoreboard, the Bucs still beating the Saints by 3. The Giants are up on the Redskins by 40. 40.
Did you say 40?
4-0.
And Washington has not scored.
Giants are playing pretty well since the bye, by the way. And also the Colts up 10 on the Texans, who have won 9 games in a row. So that's an upset in the making as the Colts are trying to make a playoff push. Here's Ryan. Eric Salpert, the third tight end, makes the catch into Green Bay territory with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter.
A nice big arm there by Blake Martinez in the open field. Salpert had a chance for a one-on-one move after the catch, and he got just enough of his foot to knock him to the ground.
Hughes game next. Eagles Cowboys on Fox. In the NFC East, Cowboys can really take control of the division. They already beat Philadelphia. If the Eagles win, those teams are tied. Trying to throw again. Far side again. Salpert again. First down. Eric Salpert, had 3 catches all year, has 2 in a row here in Green Bay.
Yeah, they like his potential. He came out of Drake. They call him a move tight end. The guy who can move all over the place, can run routes in open space. Just 30 offensive snaps in 2017. Continues to get more and more playing time.
Ito Smith in the game at tailback. They'll run it to Smith. Cutting back. Ito Smith. Good. Ooh. Ito Smith inside the 30. It's a first down. And a penalty comes at the end of the play. Getting sick of saying that today.
Holding, number 51, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
That's a second on Alex Mack today, who's one of the better centers in football.
You're not going to get that very often. We talked to the Packers defense coordinator Mike Pettin, who coached him in Cleveland. He said Alex Mack is the best center in the NFL. So with all the offensive line issues that Atlanta's had this year, he is not one of them, but his second holding call in this one today.
By the way, Ben Garland is in at right guard. He had been the starter for last week. Zane Beadle started. The Beatles is now out. Garland is in. Garland's been in a few times in the jumbo package, but now in every play. Ryan to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Hooper. Jackson. Josh Jackson, another one of these young secondary guys for Green Bay.
6-foot defensive back. There's Mike Pettin back in coaching, defensive coordinator. I think he's really enjoyed being back teaching and coaching again. Being a head coach is everyone's dream, but you don't usually get that on the field coaching day in, day out, the camaraderie in the meeting rooms. What did he liken it to? It was like being a teacher and getting promoted to principal, and now you got all the administrative paperwork and none of the fun with the people.
Second down, they will run it. Smith makes another good move and is close to another Atlanta first down. Will be a little bit shy, and that'll take us to the end of the quarter. A lot of Go Pack Go here today. Packers 34, Falcons 7, end of 3 from Lambeau. We start the fourth quarter from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. It's been all Packers. Atlanta scored on the opening drive, and then Green Bay rolled off 34 straight. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns, 187 yards. Bashad Breeland with an interception return for a touchdown. And you know what? It's cold, but the fans here are loving it. Lambeau packed again. Atlanta just trying to get some momentum going. They've lost 4 in a row, and after a good start have been invisible. 3rd down and 1. They go extra offensive lineman here. They're going to hand it off to Ito Smith, and he gets buried. Clay Matthews has had a big second half.
And you mentioned Clay Matthews having to drop into coverage a lot more, but he's also done a really nice job playing the run. Look at him stalemate his cousin. And you see how he extended his arms? And he got lower, Kevin. See how he got low and got his legs going and got his arms extended so he could push his cousin away from him and then go make the tackle.
Clay is getting the best of that matchup today. 4th down, Atlanta's going for it. Why not? Blitz coming. Picked up. Ryan spots Ito Smith, 1st down. Well done by Atlanta. They picked up the blitz, and Ito Smith did the rest as Atlanta continues.
Given him a little bit of a spark, hasn't he? Ito Smith, number 25. And you know, by now everyone knows he was nicknamed Ito because of Judge Lance Ito. His 4-year-old cousin saw him and said he looked like that as a baby. Turned out Judge Lance Ito was quite an athlete too in high school. He was actually the athlete of the year in his high school. Tennis player.
Here is Sanu. Only Charles Davis would dig up the stats on Lance Ito's athletic prowess.
The judge.
I mean, you are unbelievable.
You know, I did a little bit of reading.
You know, it's interesting, though, because Ito would have never saw the field this year if Devontae Freeman was healthy. Let's face it. Freeman's been out all year. Falcons get it into the end zone to Julio Jones for the touchdown. 2nd on the game for Julio.
And that's part of the learning experience for Jair Alexander's having a very nice rookie season. Look at the cushion he gives him. And then he backs off just enough for space. And when you're going to go for the football, if you don't come up with it, Secretary's just going to take it and turn upfield into the end zone. He did a nice job with too much cushion, but he did a nice job initially not backing off. And then when he took that one drop step, that was just enough space to fit that ball in.
Extra point, doinks off and through for Matt Bryant. And so the Falcons have their first point since the opening drive touchdown. Both of those have gone to Julio Jones. This one from 12 yards out, but it's still Green Bay by 20. Yards and a touchdown. That was back in 2014. Today he was quiet for the middle of the game, but still his first 2 touchdown game of the year. And he could have had another one. He was wide open on a deep ball, but Matt Ryan couldn't connect with him. And so Julio Jones doing his part, but the Falcons still down by 20. Try to reset the ball on the tee. Aaron Rodgers had himself a good day to this point. So is that man, Joe Philbin. He was honest when they say, you know, it's tough. He's friends with Mike McCarthy, right?
Yes.
A hard week, emotional for him. But how good does he feel right now?
But he understands it totally. He got fired as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and the coordinator Mike Pettin fired in Cleveland.
For more on Joe Philbin, why don't we go down and check in with Pam Oliver?
And Kevin, Joe Philbin has 4 specific points that he feels can help a team, any team, including the Green Bay Packers. 1, be professional. 2, be accountable with what you do and don't do. 3, respect people in and out of the building. And 4, be punctual. You do those things and you won't have any problem with him.
You know, Pam, that strikes into what Aaron Rodgers told us as well about the details, right? And getting back to that, and getting back to basics and fundamentals, even back to the stance that you take before a play starts. Everybody trying to get back to the basics to get this team better.
Green Bay will run it to Aaron Jones. Not much there as we get a game break. Checking in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
On 4th and goal, Drew Brees. We've seen that before. Just jumps up, sticks it over. That's the first time not only have the Saints led today at Tampa, but it's their first lead since Week 12 against the Falcons. Kevin?
So New Orleans back in front on the 4th and goal. We'll keep tabs of that game. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that. 2nd down and 9 for Green Bay. 13 minutes to go from Lambeau. Getting to the edge is Jones, then he gets decked by Casey. Charles, more on Philbin. You know, you talked about it. He got fired in Miami, right? Did not go well there. He was here in Green Bay, and off their performance, he got hired there. You know, Pam asked him, hey, you want this job, don't you? He wouldn't go there.
No, he would not. All he talked about was what has to happen right now, right here. And I'm quite sure, because as he told us, I've been in that spot before getting fired. It's 2 things. 1, the focus has to be on this team and getting better immediately. And 2, his friend just got fired.
Yeah.
Last thing he wants to do is be out there campaigning and lobbying for a job that his friend just had to vacate.
Here we go. 319. 319.
As Rodgers tried to get the Falcons to jump there, and instead calls timeout. Well, you talked about his friend. That is Mike McCarthy. In his 13th year, got let go after the game against Arizona. Look, this guy had a tremendous run here, right? I mean, there's a street named after him in Green Bay. You see what he's done, 8 straight playoffs. Obviously, they won a Super Bowl. Some amazing things, but, you know, when you don't perform, this is a performance league. And, you know, Charles, there's a lot of talk about, you know, how could they let him go middle of the season type thing. But, you know, in a way, I think it kind of worked out well with him getting to come back and talk to the team and really kind of have I thought, almost a fitting finish.
Yeah, and I just didn't think that, you know, the same rules apply in terms of letting him have his dignity of whatever. Could you imagine 4 weeks of, hey, Mike, what's going to happen at the end of the season? Hey, Mike, your team's not playing real well. I think it's probably best for the team and for Mike, if they were going to do it eventually, that they did it immediately.
Oh, big play to Davante Adams. Flag 2. Adams into Falcon territory, down inside the 40. We'll see with the penalty, which was on the total opposite side of the field. Atlanta is saying it should go back the other way, but we'll see.
I think it is going to go that way.
What did he do? Pass interference, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So watch Jimmy Graham, number 80 right here. You want to know what he did? Let's take a look. Yeah, he ran his route totally, altered his path. Watch Robert Alford. See how Graham makes the alteration to the path of his route and cuts inside and clips off Robert Alford? Offenses call that a rub route. Defenders call that a pick and illegal. And the officials detected it on that one.
I call it a Brutus beefcake. Little elbow from the top rope. And another penalty here. Rodgers is trying to question what the deal is, as it might be on Green Bay again. But, Charles, I want to finish on McCarthy, though. You know, the thing is...
False start, number 33, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Mike McCarthy had a great run here, right?
Fantastic.
He's an excellent head coach. If he wants to, he'll be a head coach next year. I firmly believe that. But sometimes you just need to move on. I mean, you know, having Andy Reid in Philadelphia, clearly he hasn't forgotten how to coach. Sometimes you just need to go on to the next thing, because it runs its course. 13 years in this league is an eternity.
You know, John Madden, the patron saint of Fox broadcasters, once talked about 10 years at a place is about the right amount of time. You know, sometimes you go plus or minus a little bit. He did 10 years in Oakland, retired, never came back. But for Mike McCarthy, there will be other opportunities. There will be other places. And he'll have a chance to have another run as like he did here in Green Bay.
And how classy is this by Mike McCarthy? On Saturday, he took out a full-page ad in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and the Green Bay Press-Gazette, thanking the fans and the city of Green Bay. I mean, that's pretty great.
Pretty special. And he was the one who asked Joe Philbin, Brian Gutekunst, the GM, may I come back and address my staff one day and come back and address the team another day. And I think that was good for all concerned.
And so the end of an era here in Green Bay. And we don't know Joe Philbin's going to be part of the new era, but for today and the next month.
Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Julio Jones leads the NFL in receiving. Another year, over 1,400 yards, now 92 catches. Guy is just phenomenal. Today, 2 more touchdowns, 6 catches, 89 yards, but his Falcons down by 20 with 10:39 to play. Here's Ryan. Looks to throw it over the middle. Oh, Sanu almost hauled in a one-hander, but couldn't quite do the pirouette. Second down.
Would have been a tough one because Matt Ryan tried to fit it over the top of the defender and a little bit behind Sanu as his body was moving in the opposite direction. That would have been a heck of a catch by Sanu. Look at him trying to reach back with one hand as he's moving in the opposite direction. See that? Right over the top of Breland. 26, he can't find the football. Ryan trying to put in a place where Sanu could get it, but his body taken off in the wrong spot.
Ryan, Sanu this time makes the catch and then works his way forward. Close to another first down. That will be an Atlanta first down. You know, Charles, I'm just going to throw this out there. I know it's a long shot. I'm just looking at the scoreboard. Cleveland's beating Carolina. The Saints are beating the Bucks. The Redskins are losing. Minnesota plays Monday night. Packers are not done yet. I know it's a long shot, but they're not done. They got a chance mathematically to still get in the postseason as Hooper makes his catch. Now look, they have to finish here and they have to win out, and they need a lot of help, but they're getting help today, and I'm just gonna say it.
You're not saying what you're just saying?
Exactly.
No, nothing more needs to be said. It's out there. I like it.
Go, Justin, go.
Put it in the atmosphere.
And we've seen crazy things happen. Remember Rex Ryan going to the podium with the Jets saying we're out of the playoffs and finding out he's not, and then ended up advancing to the AFC Championship game in the same year. So you never know.
It's Brian Hill on the carry for Atlanta. Gets his first carry of the day.
Yeah, getting an opportunity to play fullback now for the Atlanta Falcons is Brian Hill, trying to find a spot for him, not just in the backfield, but on special teams. And his forte at Wyoming, where he was a running back, was straight ahead, thumping running inside.
That time he tries to make a block. It's bowled over, but does his job. Enough time to give Ryan the connection to Julio Jones. Will be a little shy of a first down.
Now, do you get a check mark for the block if you're Brian Hill? On that one, he got flattened on the play, but the defender didn't get there, and that allowed Matt Ryan to make that connection right there to Julio Jones. And one thing you notice about this Atlanta team, Kevin, they have not quit fighting in this game.
You talked about that. You raised that question.
They had a really bad stretch there, but they've gotten off the mat now. They're continuing to battle.
Ryan thinking end zone, going end zone. Can he get it enough to Jones? No, incomplete. It was Breland who was on the coverage, and a 3rd and 1. Most consecutive seasons with 1,400 plus receiving yards. Julio Jones now has 5. That's the most ever.
And you know, in each of those 1,400-yard seasons, he's caught over 80 passes in each one of them. Pretty good list right there.
Falcons made that trade. They traded all those picks to move up and get him. Oh, what? That's a crazy move, some said.
Not some.
No.
Most.
That has been worth every penny. 3rd and 1, and the whistle blows. There's no play. Atlanta may have moved here.
False start, number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Russell Gage with a rare appearance on offense. He only has 2 catches on the year. And so it'll be a 3rd and 6 now. The Darth Vader cheesehead, a holiday favorite in these parts. 3rd and 6.
See if Mike Pettin wants to bring a little pressure here.
Here it comes. Ryan in trouble. Gets away momentarily. Nice play to Ridley. And Calvin Ridley has a first down. What a play by Matt Ryan.
That was tremendous. Green Bay showed their hand early, had a chance to get out of the blitz, stayed with it, and then Matt Ryan, not known for his mobility, but I think as his career has gone on, I think that Kyle Shanahan influence has really kicked in. his mobility has increased, and he kept that play alive and picked up the first down with the throw to Ridley.
Ryan, the throw, pressure again, gets it over the middle for a gain of 9. That's Hooper, the tight end. Matt Ryan. On the day, 20 of 30, 201 yards, and that puts him over 4,000 yards for the 8th consecutive year. Ryan throws complete inside the 10 to Hardy. That's a first down for the Falcons. Another game break. Let's check in again with Kurt Menefee.
Well, a game that's huge in the AFC playoff picture, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. That's his second touchdown pass of the game, completing it to John Brown. 9-yard score. They lead it by a touchdown inside the 2-minute warning at the currently #1 seeded Chiefs. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
And the Patriots are now leading the Dolphins by 2. So, things getting interesting for that home field battle in the AFC.
A lot going on. And remember, the Chiefs and Chargers take on each other next week.
On 1st and goal, here's Ryan. Going to swing it out, and it's incomplete to Hardy. And a 2nd down and goal. But how about the Baltimore Ravens? Joe Flacco gets hurt, and Lamar Jackson. I don't know what their offenses look like today, but they're essentially running the ball 75% of the time, and they could be 4-0 if they win today with him.
It's darn near single wing, all right, with Lamar Jackson at quarterback, and they are making it work. He's getting 15 to 20 carries a game like he's a tailback, and it's working very well for them. I don't know that that's sustainable over time, but in the short term, it's like when Tim Tebow ran the Broncos into the playoffs that one year.
Yep. Julio Jones, top of your screen against Jair Alexander. Instead, the ball is loose. Snap issues, and I think the Packers recovered. Did they get it? They did. Green Bay football.
So look at this. On the snap, Mohamed Sanu in motion, and the ball hits him and comes free. And the Packers take over.
Breeland recovered it. Matt Ryan upset. Finally had a nice drive going there, and look, it's not been their day, but you get a snap, goes off Sanu's leg.
That whole drive, you were pointing out records that they were setting. 8th straight 4,000 yards for Matt Ryan. Julio Jones over 1,400 yards. No touchdown payoff. And no payoff on this season, now at 4-8.
Atlanta jumps. Rodgers had that cadence working earlier. I think he may have gotten another one.
Did you see Bakhtiari jump to make sure that the call was made?
This is on infraction number 56 defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
He's so good with that. He told us he practices it. I mean, it's not by accident.
But didn't he tell us when we came earlier this year he has like 9 different cadences that he works on and incorporates throughout a ball game? So there's not just, you know, him jumping out there. There's an art to it, and transmitted to the team to be prepared for which cadence he wants to operate with.
There's Aaron Jones across the 15-yard line. A lot happening right now. Let's get another game break with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Letting you guys know what's coming up next. America's Game of the Week. The winner of this one, first place in the NFC East. Carson Wentz getting warmed up here. Dak Prescott hoping to keep his team rolling. The winner of 4 straight. It's all coming up next. Joe, Troy, and Aaron have the call. Kevin?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, Cowboys win, and they're in the driver's seat in that NFC East. And the Eagles' schedule coming up afterwards is brutal, too. But if the Eagles win, they got the same record, and they're tied. And certainly changes things. How about this? Elliott, look at what he's done against 5 running backs for the Eagles. Elliott's just a horse. 1,572 scrimmage yards, and there you see the records. Dallas won in Philly a couple weeks ago. That started a Cowboys 4-game win streak. The Redskins are getting hammered by the Giants. They're about to be 6-7, and then let's face it, they're done. They're on their 3rd quarterback now.
Giants moving to 5-8, trying to get and finish up the season with an 8-8 record.
They're playing better.
And no Odell Beckham Jr. today either.
Jones. Grady Jarrett makes sure he doesn't go anywhere. timeout by Atlanta. They call their second with 6.5 minutes to go here from Lambeau. So here are the remaining schedules. Cowboys will be at the Colts next week. Charles, we will be there. Looking forward to that. Colts are up by 10 on the Texans, who have won 9 in a row today. And then they've got the Bucs and the Giants. The Eagles' schedule is much more difficult.
But they want to give themselves a chance.
Here it is. Rams, Texans.
Yeah, at the Rams, home against Houston, at Washington to finish things off. But to give themselves a chance and be in the fray, today's a must-win for the Eagles.
Now, if you're a Packers fan, you want an Eagles loss and you need the Seahawks to win and beat the Vikings tomorrow. And then this will be a heck of a week for you. 3rd down at 3. 4-man rush. Rodgers hangs in near side. It's complete for a first down to Jimmy Graham.
And the Falcons trying to give themselves an opportunity, taking the timeouts on the first 2 downs. On 3rd down, needing this stop to get the ball back. And an excellent connection with Jimmy Graham. Working against Devondre Campbell. Picks up a key first down for Green Bay. And Atlanta's eating up their timeout with Cachet.
Set it! 319! 319! 258! 258!
Jones works his way for 3. See, now I feel like you talked about those 9 different cadences for Aaron. Now I feel like he's really going through it.
You know, when you're up 34-14, you're going to eat up clock. Take a look at the play clock, and let's see how savvy this quarterback is, right? When are they going to snap the football as he takes it down? Now with this lead. And hey, why not? If you got 9 different cadences, what's the fun in having them if you don't take them out for a spin every now and then? But he does like 319. I hear that a lot.
Flip! Triple. 319! 319!
That was a quick one. Here's Jones. Cut back. Nice one. Aaron Jones. Man, he is so quick on the cutbacks. And another Packer first down.
I'm going to have to ask him one day, are those his lucky numbers? Because when you watch games and hear it, that's one of his favorite numbers to bark, the combo of numbers to bark out. But what he really likes is handing it to number 33, and watch the vision and the cut. He saw the hole back there and immediately right foot in the ground, changes direction and gets upfield.
15 carries, 74 yards for Aaron Jones. And all but 3 of those in this second half.
58!
Run it again, and that time has nowhere to go. Terrell McClain got a good push. Sorry, Charles.
No, go ahead. No, but he took it down to 3 seconds on the play clock. So he's well aware of what they're doing. Look at Aaron Jones's day, over 100 yards from scrimmage again. And I have to admit, when he runs the football, when I look at his yardage total at the end, it always seems less than what I thought he produced on the field, right? He had that big run for the touchdown. It always feels like he had more. So I said before the game, 20 carries. You said that Joe Philbin told us 20-plus touches. 19 touches on the game.
You know, I think Rodgers' cadence may have gotten his own guys.
78, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It never happens. That's on Spriggs, the backup who's playing today with Balaga out.
You think he's gone to Aaron and said, is that cadence 4 or was that cadence 7? Which one are we using? And Joe Philbin really getting into this play calling, but still has not mastered the art of deception in play calling, because the play sheet stays down and doesn't come up and cover it. Like all the cool play callers in the league. All right, give me Twins right, 37, with it covered.
Are there people on the other sideline that are reading lips, do you think?
Listen, in this league, I don't doubt anything in trying to steal, and that's where the helmet has helped them without the stealing signs. Remember the old days?
Oh, of course. There's Aaron Jones up across the 28-yard line with 3:30 to go. And the Falcons use their final timeout here, trying to stay in this game. It is a 3-score game at this point for Atlanta. So this January on Fox, don't miss the new singing competition where Grammy winners, Emmy winners, and Hall of Famers perform in disguise. Can you figure out who's behind the mask? Nick Cannon hosts The Masked Singer, premiering January 2nd on Fox. Our director today is Artie Kempner, our producer Pete Macheska. "72 degrees and warm in the remote truck, Charles."
How about our great crew working the cameras out in this weather today and getting us the great shots?
They are the hardest working folks for us, no question. On the draw, it's Williams. And Williams just chewing up some more time as the Falcons are out of timeouts. Keith DeSantis getting the job done down in the end zone. Keith not looking cold at all, getting those fingers working. Oh, Mr. Detroit right there.
Tats.
That is the hand warming of all. Is that Steely in there?
Is that Steely Dan?
I can barely see him. Dan Steele, who apparently has some eyes under that hat somewhere. But getting you the great shots. Our guy Dobby, Grant Dobbins, who takes care of us in the booth. I mean,
Dobby
does everything. These are the guys who are working so hard for you today, keeping their fingers working in this 20-degree weather.
Phenomenal.
Well done, guys.
And we appreciate you.
Short kick by Scott, and so Atlanta will have it in good field position with 2:37 to go in this one from Lambeau. Don't forget Steve Zajac back there.
Hey, hey.
Now Steve tried to come in the booth a little earlier to get warm, but Steve, it's not warm in the booth.
He's like, what is this?
He quickly backtracked. It got out. There is Jeff Peel, pride of Milwaukee. Oh, I'm told Madison, not Milwaukee. I got bad information.
Let me tell you something. You get that wrong.
Sorry, that's a big difference.
No, don't get. Kevin Burkhardt said that, folks.
You know how it is in TV, Charles. Sometimes you have to rely on the people who give you the information. Bad info.
Oh, big hit. The ball looked like it came out at the end, but they declared the play over. Big hit at the end. That was Tony Brown, the rookie out of Alabama. Watch Sanu, makes the catch, goes to tuck it away, and Brown right there knocks the ball free. Yet they called that a catch.
Here's Ryan over the middle, and Ito Smith has a catch close to a first down. They mark it as a first down. That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning from Green Bay, where it's been a Packers day. They are waving to the crowd because it's Green Bay 34, Atlanta 14.
Yours.
34-14, the Packers in front of the Falcons. 2 minutes to go here from Lambeau Field. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, had a good night last night as Atlanta won the MLS Cup. Not a good day today. Flying up here to see his Falcons about to lose their 5th straight game. First down for Atlanta. Ryan complete to Hooper near an Atlanta first down. Charles, a couple other thanks wanted to give. A special thanks to our truck engineers, Scott Fussy, James Picarillo. They have worked so hard this season, and we are switching up our trucks today. That's a term that most of you have no clue what we're talking about. But let me tell you, these guys are here well before and well after we are here. And wouldn't be here without them. As an injury as it is Hooper who made that catch, who's down.
Thank you guys very, very much for tremendous season, tremendous work.
10 to Hooper, who's
had a breakout year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's averaged 5 catches a game. It's 4th best among tight ends in the league.
The next step for him, yards per catch. Came into the game somewhere around 8 yards a catch. He has the capabilities of being a double-digit guy.
While we have this moment, they're tending to Austin Hooper. Let's get another game break with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Kevin. So Chiefs trailing 24-17 late in the fourth and 3. Patrick Mahomes continues his quest. Next running back Damian Williams. We are all tied up at 24 and headed to overtime.
Wow, that's a heck of a game, huh?
That young man.
Incredible.
Whatever hurdle they've thrown at him this year, talk about Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty much jumped over it, hasn't he? He needed to lead a drive late to try and tie the game, gets it done. We'll see what happens in overtime, but that kid, he's mature beyond his years on the field.
As Hooper limps off and the ball is tipped. Alexander came on the blitz, got a piece. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Keep an eye on that young man. He's going to develop into a heck of a player. Already having a fine rookie season. Plays with a great joy and spirit, doesn't he? And is not shy about contact, tackling in the running game. Look at him coming on the pressure. Gets his arms up and bats the ball away as Matt Ryan tries to complete one to Ito Smith.
3rd down and 1. Ryan standing in, is going to get over to Smith in the flat, looking to make a move, and he's not going to quite get there. Alexander with another nice play. Mike Pettin told us, think about besides this play, the thing that we didn't know, he's got leadership in him. So he's got in front of the room as a rookie corner. He's like, I don't know that I've seen that before.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, but boy, he's exhibiting it.
Falcons going to go, and Sanu on 4th down with a 1st down, and now it's just all elementary. Clock winding under a minute to go. Packers going to pick up a win with Joe Philbin as their interim head coach. And Atlanta is about to lose their 5th straight. Here's Ryan all day. Now he's just going to hurl it towards the end zone. Little jump ball. Incomplete. He was looking for Sanu. Josh Jackson with the defensive knockdown.
Sanu tried to give it a nice basketball box out, didn't he? How about the game we had yesterday, Seton Hall over Kentucky on FS1? How about that? See how he boxed him out, KB? And Josh Jackson wasn't having it. Came over the top and contested it.
I love how you actually boxed me out. I'd have a hard time getting a rebound over you, man.
I got to drop some of those pounds that make me a good box out guy.
2nd down, Ryan to throw, and in and out of the hands of Jones. Julio's got 7 for 98, 2 touchdowns today. Couldn't hang on there with 37 seconds to go. The State Farm game break is next, and then of course Eagles and Cowboys monster game on Fox, and we may have bonus coverage of the Browns and Panthers. Panthers down 6. They've got the ball with a minute left. They're about to lose their 5th straight, and unless they pull off a last-minute comeback. Feel good for that man, Joe Philbin. So his friend Mike McCarthy get fired this week, interim coach, former head coach of the Dolphins, and he's about to get a win. Ryan throws complete. With Julio Jones, that'll put him over 100 on the day. Jeff Nelson, our spotter today. Mitch Smith, Bill Harmon, or excuse me, Nelly is our stat man. Coach Bill and Mitch are spotters, and that's to Hardy into the end zone for a touchdown. Justin Hardy has the touchdown catch for Atlanta. That's his 1st of the year.
He ends up with Tony Brown, jumps up in press coverage, just goes right by him and gets to the inside, and Matt Ryan spots him and puts a perfect pass on him. And Hardy takes it into the end zone. It may be a cosmetic score, but it still means something to those guys to go out and execute and get it done the correct way.
And Matt Bryant misses an extra point. Matt Bryant is one of the great kickers in the league. He had his first field goal miss of the year today, and he hit 1 extra point off the crossbar and in. That one is no good. It's been that kind of day for Atlanta. And now it is officially, looks like that game has come, and that is a final. So we'd like to welcome those of you who just watched the Browns beat the Panthers 26-20. Panthers have lost 5 in a row. Here in Green Bay, along with Pam Oliver, Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Joe Philbin, the interim head coach after they fired Mike McCarthy. He used his 2 challenges the first minute and a half of the game. It was unbelievable. Fastest in NFL history, actually a minute forward technically. But you know what? It hasn't mattered. Even though the Falcons scored on the opening drive, Green Bay went nuts after that. They scored 34 unanswered. Aaron Rodgers has had a good day. Bashad Breeland has an interception return for a touchdown. Aaron Jones had a big second half. And all smiles for Rodgers and company. They had lost 5 of 6, but they played well today.
Love what Pam Oliver told us about asking Joe Philbin about those 2 challenges, and he said, "Hey, I had them. I didn't want to keep them. I might as well use them."
That's an onside kick that is not going to go 10 yards. Could have used a little Atlanta United magic there, but not quite.
Could use a little oomph from the free kick.
This also just final. The Colts with a huge win today, 24-21 in Houston. The Texans, Charles, had won 9 in a row. And the Colts, after their terrible start, are very much in the playoff race, and they host Dallas next week. Can't wait to be on the call for that one.
Remember when you used to roll your eyes when coaches would say, you know, this is a week-to-week league? You know, when you talk to them, you go, okay, here we go again with that. How true has that been in the last few weeks? When you think you've got teams figured out and upsets happen or someone plays a different, better game than you expected, we're seeing that again this week in the NFL.
You just can't figure it out. Green Bay will take a knee, and that's that. All happy at Lambeau with a 34-20 win for the Packers over the Falcons. Joe Philbin gets a win as the interim head coach here today. And hugs for 2 great quarterbacks with Rodgers and Ryan. And so the Packers find their offense today after a tough loss to Arizona here last week. Julio Jones, a big day in the loss. But it's Green Bay that is, they're technically still alive in this playoff push. They got to win out and they need some help, but it's been a good day result-wise for them. And that will do it for us. For Pam Oliver, Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. The Packers beat the Falcons today. Kurt Menefee and the guys will take it from here from Los Angeles.